There, where the principles remain the same from Revision 3 and the directives, this Revision 4 mainly goes more in depth on several aspects and outlines a more step-by-step approach on the process of a clinical evaluation. The document now outlines specific minimum requirements for updating a clinical evaluation report. There are more extensive requirements on the qualifications of both author and reviewer, as well as requirements for declaring conflict of interest. Guidance is given with regards to taking into account the current state of the art, while positioning the new device throughout the document compared to the state of the art. More guidance is given on how to consider the scientific validity based on scientific and statistical methodologies. More defined requirements for determining equivalence are included in case the device in question can be compared to another existing CE-marked device. The requirement to have access to technical data from equivalent devices as a condition for establishing equivalence is new in this revision. Extensive guidance is given on when a clinical investigation is required. More in-depth guidance is given on linking the clinical evaluation to the risk management report, and detailed considerations regarding risk-benefit throughout the clinical evaluation process are required. And last but not least, throughout the document, extensive emphasis on the requirements for PMS and PMCFU to be incorporated in the analysis and conclusions, as well as being the basis for updates of the clinical evaluation report. This image included in Section 6.4 of Revision 4 represents the 5 stages of the clinical evaluation process. Each stage is further described in the document in detail. Stage 0 and 2 are really the new parts compared to Revision 3, where these were included in the step of identification of pertinent data. The stages are there to help writers and reviewers with a more systematic approach and ensure a thorough preparation of the process in stages 0 to 2, building towards a comprehensive analysis and conclusion section with clear actions for the post-market surveillance activities. The next change in Revision 4 is about a more precise indication on when updates are expected for a clinical evaluation report. The criteria of updates are not really changed, however, are discussed more so in detail in Section 6.2.3.b. Whatever update schedule a manufacturer chooses, it must be justified based on the risk management principles and largely depends on the inherent risks a device carries, as well as the feedback anticipated from post-market surveillance activities. Criteria such as innovativeness, any changes in the clinical sciences, level of confidence in existing data, meaning are all questions answered with full confidence, or does the manufacturer have a new device with no long-term follow-up yet, as well as ongoing design changes. These criteria should not be considered in an isolated manner, but should all be considered combined under the same risk management considerations.